What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at mid Cantona, the centre forward, the 90 rated, the king. He is incredible. It did take him a long time to get used to him in the gameplay. Obviously we went straight into foot champs with him, so we chucked him right in the deep end straight away. He is a 1.6 to 1.8 million card, which is obviously fantastic, and we did get him out of the first mid icon pack. Obviously we had the second, unfortunately not as good as luck. We managed to get Lineker, who again will be another review. But if we do look at Cantona, there was one we got in a base mid that I can't be mad at, but at the same time I am. We went and got the baby Cantona. Obviously, I personally just can't get rid of either of them. Obviously, I'd always keep the mid. The base is quite nice, but there is a bit of an upgrade for the mid, just in the fact that that's got 2 more pace, but 2 less shooting, 2 less passing, 1 less dribbling, and the same physical and defender doesn't really matter. Obviously both of them are sitting at the same sort of price. We will be looking at the base as well, as I personally haven't used that one yet, so we will be getting to kind of get to know that one just to see what's what with it really. I feel like the mid is better, and then we've obviously got the prime that looks incredible, and hopefully we get some moments soon, which again would be phenomenal to see. He's a 5-star skiller, 4-star weak foot, 6'2", with a high attack and medium defensive, right-footed, and then in terms of traits we've got flair, power header, outside of the foot, and that is it. Everything else is computer AI. In terms of his stats then, we did put him at basic for the review. Obviously I think that the best sort of chem store you want for him is going to be a hunter, and we'll show you why. We'll show you these stats. They are phenomenal. He then gets 95 pace, I think about 95 to 96 shooting. It is practically all maxed out bar from a couple of stats. Passing's already pretty nice, everything's above 86, obviously with the exceptional 90 in there. Dribbling, we've got 83, 84 agility balance, 94 composure, 92 dribbling, ball control and reactions, great head and accuracy, and beautiful physicality. The guy is incredible. It is a brilliant card. Is he the best icon you can get? Probably not. In terms of Eusebio R9, I still think he's below them, but I would say he's probably in top 10, especially attacking wise. If we do quickly just have a look before we get into some gameplay of icons that are above 1.6 mil, just so we can kind of get a grasp of who is in his kind of like limit really. So if we go that, and then we'll go 1.7. So realistically we're looking at Puskás, we're looking at Eto, even Essien. Obviously some of them will be lower, like Blanc is not going for 1.8, I can't imagine. Same with Vieira, 1.8 seems quite high for a base. But in terms of what we're looking at, these are the sorts of icons we're looking for. So you've got to imagine him in comparison to these. I know obviously he is untradeable, but in terms of value, this is what you could get instead of him and kind of go with tradable coins. And obviously he's in there himself. Cruyff, who I definitely want to try out. Some really good icons that you can get for that sort of price. So let's jump into some gameplay and see what Cantona can do. So with his in-games, honestly, he plays well. He plays really well. Like I say, it did take a little bit to get used to him. Pope is just kryptonite against him. He saves everything. But when you get one-on-one with him, or at least like say 5 to 10 yards out, it's very hard to miss. But in general, I felt like it was a little bit more tricky to get used to him because he's not necessarily the greatest striker, like a one-on-one striker, not quite there. As a CF cam, phenomenal, really good. But the one difference is I'm used to the likes of Bruno, I'm used to KDB, I'm used to Gomez, very small cams that are very agile. Even though he's not the slowest in the world and he has got 5-star skills, obviously he does take a little bit to get used to in terms of that. The passing on him is absolutely exquisite. Tavernier with a cracking challenge there though, and honestly I feel like he's definitely coming to his own. The first foot champs that I got, even though I said I was getting used to him, he still managed to get top goal scorer, getting I think 8 goals in the first 3 matches. He was brilliant. He gets everything his way. He just manages to bully people, and honestly he just scores for fun most of the time. And we'll see him sometimes lacking a little bit. Maybe the defenders do take him on. We see there maybe could have gone with a touch inside rather than going for that kind of more of a panic shot more than anything. But we see here one little touch, bang, rolls it past the keeper, absolutely no effort whatsoever. We managed to get, what, a little chest, little keep you up, and then he volleys it. That is as good as it gets with him, really. He just literally scores wherever he wants, and that's a good kind of aspect of him, that he's strong, got a great head, pace is decent. Obviously, he's not going to be the most fastest. He's not the fastest, yeah. He's not the fastest player in the world, but what he kind of lacks in pace as such, he makes up for everything else. And that's pretty much what CF does for him. 1.6 mil, is he worth it? I probably wouldn't go tradable coins. I think that requires something massive, because if you're using 1.6, and personally 1.6 is a lot of coins. I don't normally have that spare for a player, and I'm not a person who likes to buy tradable cards. I always like to have an untradable team, and practically my whole team is untradable, so I kind of like getting upgrades from packs, and I think FIFA's kind of made it that way, that you're more inclined to go and do a pack and get someone good rather than going out and buying him. And obviously some people are different. A lot of people do tend to buy their teams on like a Thursday rewards and then sell them by Saturday night once they've finished FUT champs, because realistically there's no need for them in the week. But if we do look at him on his overall then, so we have got FUT bin loaded up. Pace, like I say, with the Hunter on, is much better. 95, you can't argue. He still does feel not necessarily slow, because he definitely doesn't, but he's not as fast as the 95 pace shows. Like, I'd say he looks more like an 88 to 90 rated pace. Shooting's always going to be fantastic. Passing is decent, especially for a centre forward, but I expect it from a 90 rated. Dribbling's nice. I feel like his kind of on the ball control is phenomenal. Agility balance, again, 6'2". He's going to take a little bit of time to move. He's not clunky by any means, but in terms of kind of like turn and circle compared to someone a lot smaller, he's going to be slower. Physical, incredible. Obviously, he does hold that ball off very well, and his heading, he's got the power header trait, and he's got the heading accuracy for it. You can't really argue with that. And obviously, this is his first year, which I'm more excited about, that this is his first year in comparison to any other FIFAs, and it was the same with Zidane last year. If we do look at French as a nationality, you can't argue with his links. Zidane as a cracking cam next to him. Obviously, you've got Henry, you've got Mbappe, Desailly, Pires to an extent, maybe a prime moments, even Trezeguet prime moments. I really like the dynamics, so to be honest, I'll be trying to get as many of them as possible. And then we've got the likes of Blanc, Petit, Camavinga, we've got Mbappe, Benzema. There is a whole host of lists that you can go with this team, and the list goes on and on for French nationality. They are just absolutely insane with obviously what they can bring to the table. But if we do go back to him, obviously the 88, like I say, there's a couple of upgrades, a couple of decreases in the difference between the cards, but the price is relatively similar. If we do look at the 93, obviously that is a phenomenal card, 3 million. I cannot wait to see what this prime moment's like. I can imagine that will be a centre forward as well, and that will be just a mad card. I feel like it's going to be up in the millions by quite a lot, especially being his first prime moments. Everyone's going to want to give him a go just to see what it's like, basically. But overall, I feel like he's a cracking player. Like I say, you've got the 90 on him. You at the Hunter, he turns into 92, 93 or 94. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I think there wouldn't be a chance of me buying this card without actually packing him. So incredible stuff to be able to get him from an icon pack and then get his base at the same time as well. Literally back-to-back icons is just something else, really. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.